honored to be here on this platform. So I just want to start by saying that while I'm standing here delivering this talk, I'm actually trying to move a mountain. And let me explain. So for me, fears are like mountains because they stand in your way so mighty and so tall that they stop you from seeing what's beyond them. उसके आगे क्या रखा है, क्या अच्छा रखा है, they don't let you see. And also, they make you feel small, they make you feel incapable, and they make you feel like you just cannot. On the other hand, the mind is the complete opposite. Because the mind is gullible, and you can make the mind see beyond anything. You can make your mind imagine yourself flying. You can even make the mind imagine that you are taller than a mountain. So the truth is that while I'm standing here, I'm kind of out of breath because I have a fear of public speaking. It may not look like it, but it's very hard for me. And every time that I get an opportunity to come and talk, I think so many times before I say yes. Because every time I do end up saying yes, I instantly regret. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? This is going to be so hard. And I start giving my mind all the reasons to not do it. And because, the mind has a defense mechanism. What it does is that when you look at all the things that can go wrong, the mind protects you. It wants to save you from that hurt. It wants to save you from that pain. And what it does is that it starts coming up with all excuses to not do this certain job. So, what do you do then? That's when you start tricking your mind, and that is what I do. Okay. So you can imagine yourself like this tiny person who is standing in front of this huge mountain. But because you can make your mind think anything, you can make it think that you are growing taller and taller and taller and taller to the point that you are bigger than this mountain. And when you are bigger than the mountain, the best thing is that you can look beyond it, so you can see what's on the other side. And what's on the other side are all the great things that are happening that you couldn't see before. And you focus on all the great things, you slowly realize that the mountain is quite small. It's not big as you thought it was. And then what you do is that you move the mountain. You pick it up and you toss it. And that's what I did. So when I knew I had to give this talk, I just looked above the mountain and I saw my talk ending and the world didn't fall apart and nothing really bad happened and it ended and I... So I'm trying to make 2 points here. The first one is that you focus on what's beyond fear. So you focus on the gains and not the losses. And the second point that I want to make is that you visualize. You visualize, so you trick your mind into believing. Because the problem with the mind is that it just does not believe in the face of fear. So you trick it and you make it believe, whether that means you imagine yourself taller than a mountain. Okay, so my problem with fear is, and why I hate it so much, is because it stops people from achieving their true potential. It stops them from doing the things that they're absolutely capable of doing. They have outstanding talent, but they just sit there and they don't take that first step just because they're too scared. And when I started blogging, that was my problem as well. So when I started blogging, the internet looked something like this. सारा नेक नजर आ रहा है, फायदा क्या शोल्डर पे एक दुपट्टा तो ले ली. Innocent face and big, I won't say that word. How boldly she tells her affairs. Third, shameless plus characterless plus third class is equal to this woman. Matlab, that's a very difficult situation to be in. So it was at that time for a woman to simply just switch her private account to a public account. It was a taboo. It was horrifying and it was not acceptable. Girls even hid their profiles behind fake pictures, right? But and that sort of thing scares you from from the judgment, from the rumors, what people are going to say, and it was just not okay. But see, there was a problem that I wanted to solve. So my problem with the internet was that there was a lot of blame game. All you were doing was blaming the government, blaming America, or Yehudi Sasajay for everything that went wrong in our lives. And what we did not do was take responsibility. I wanted people to start with themselves, think about the change that they can make within themselves, and kind of put it out there so that people can slowly create that effect and create bigger change. But I was too scared, and I wanted someone else to do that. But I was privileged. You know why? Because I had support from my husband, I had support from my family. I was just scared of the online bullying and other people around me and relatives and whatnot. And if I, who is slightly more privileged than other girls, does not start with herself to make that change, then I'm completely doing the opposite of what I'm trying to convey, right? Right? So then I just decided to go for it. I picked up the selfie cam and I started talking to the people of the world. And I remember that in that video, I even said that, the first video, that please be nice, because I'm very scared. I said that. So, and that was followed by judgment from people around me. That was followed by labels, God forbid those labels. And it was followed by rumors and talk. And I swear I used to hate going into the courtyard of my college because everybody used to, talk about me and stare at me. But while all of that was happening, here's how I decided to focus on the gains. Out of 50, if there were 50 negative comments, which by the way didn't happen, this is what I thought, that if I had 50 negative comments online, I will focus on that one comment of that girl who said that I had changed her perspective, or anybody who said that I had changed their mind. And I focused on just that one comment, on just those people who believed in me, and I tricked my mind into believing, and that's it. So then I kept going, and there was a lot of times that I just went back and forth. I used to hear someone said something horrible about me. It used to really discourage me. I used to feel awful, and there were so many times I decided to just quit, to not do this, that this space is not for women, it's not for me. So, but then, every time the noise got to my mind, there was one thing I did. I stopped tuning into my mind. I started tuning into the pit of my stomach, because that's where lies faith. And there are times when you have to see faith above reason, and you let yourself be led by faith and not reason. So, when I started, so unfortunately the sound can't play. This is that video that I was talking about. This is my first video, and I was very nervous and talking to people. I don't think I can forward it, so we'll just have to wait. But what I'm saying in it is that this is the first time I'm putting myself out there. I'm finally deciding to talk to people. So I hope that I can inspire you, and please be nice, because this is difficult for me. And this is where I am now. And these are the comments that I receive. That I've changed the way people think, that the topics that I choose to talk about have changed people's perspective, that I have changed their lives, contrary to what I thought was going to happen. I have a blog with followers of 2,24,520 people, and 62% of those people are females. And today, I'm proud to have taken my privilege, looked beyond my fears, and empowered those women and made them realize that they no longer have to be so ingenuine with themselves, that they have to be themselves, and they are not the problem. The people who think they are the problem are the problem. And I'm happy to have faced not my own fears, but the fears of many girls, and have normalized it for women to come out and talk and be themselves. And to be honest, if I had not overcome my fears, I would have never been able to do this. Using my blog, I saved a woman's life who and I was working at a hospital at that time. So she could not afford her treatment. So I went up to my followers and asked them to donate. And within 2 days, my followers, through the hard work, the trust, the credibility I had gained, and the influence, they managed to compile 4 lakh within 2 days. And we managed to save this woman's life. And that is the day I knew that I had come full circle. Because I was talking about how each one of us could, make change, work as individuals and make a big change, and that's exactly what we did together as a community through my blog. So, the thing with fear is that there are lots of fears, we already mentioned that, but there is also another fear, which is fear of the unknown, right? And Mel Robbins said that when you are scared and excited, your physical state is the same. So when you're scared, your heart is beating fast, your body is kind of agitated, and when you're excited, the body is the same. It's the mind that's different. So if you tell your mind all the good things, your mind will say go, go, go. But if you tell your mind all the bad things, your mind will say no, no, no. So when I had to start my business, I knew nothing about business. So my biggest fear was fear of the unknown. I'm a dentist by profession, no business background, nothing. And I was putting all of the money from my shadi salami into this business, and I was giving up on a lot of the things that I could do with my husband for this business, right? But the thing was, there was a problem that I really wanted to solve, and that demanded that I start this business. And whenever I used to think about it, I was stirred with ideas, with energy, and I would stay up all night just thinking about all the things that I could do with it. But I was afraid that I won't be able to get what I want. Like, I won't be able to do this, or things won't turn out the way that I want. So what happened was, when I got my first batch of products, it was a disaster. It was nothing like I had approved on the samples, and it was something I could just not ship to market, and I had put all that money in there already. I had failed. I had successfully failed, right? So then, what I decided to do, at this point I could have given up, right? But I decided to take my learnings, and I decided to try again. So I took some loans, I tried again, and guess what happened? I failed again. This time the product was better, but it was still not good enough. So my fear of failure and my fear of the unknown became quadruple than before because I had faced it twice. But you know what I did? I this time decided to find the gains in the losses. So everything that went wrong, I took learnings from it, and I took it again, and then I put all those learnings together and I did it for the 3rd time. And then guess what happened? 3rd time's the charm. I actually did it. So, and today, alhamdulillah, the business stands tall. In fact, it was featured by Facebook in She Means Business, which is their platform that puts out inspiring female entrepreneurs that are making waves in entrepreneurship. And all I want to say is that anyone who can focus on the gains and not the losses, anyone who can be bigger than their fears can rise above their fears. So be a giant, because from up there, that mountain, it's a molehill. So pick it up and toss it, just like I did.